Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Drop-In Morning Show with the Teach Better team, where we are live every single morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern, as we stream over on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, as well as these episodes become episodes on our Teach Better Talk podcast. So if you're not subscribed to that podcast, please go make sure you do that. It is Tuesday, November 23rd, and for all of our American friends, you have Thanksgiving this week, which actually is changing our show dynamic this week. This is our last day this week of Daily Drop-In. We will not have the show on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday this week, but don't worry. Monday the 29th, we'll be back in action, ready to kick off another awesome morning together for our Daily Drop-In. This morning, specifically on Tuesday, we have an incredible guest with us. We have Jami with us. Jami, I'm so excited to catch up with you. So we'll be right back to get into all that fun. For everybody else, please go fill up your coffee. We'd love to have you participate in the comments, and we cannot wait to start off our morning with you. So we'll be right back. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Daily Drop-In Morning Show. Jami Flowerwood, I am so excited that you are here this morning. How are you, friend?
I am doing all right. How about yourself today?
I'm doing good. We were both talking about it's a little early for us because we're in the Central Time Zone. So while we really love welcoming everybody that it's 7 a.m. Eastern, guys, it's actually 6 a.m. Central, and that's what matters to us.
Yes.
But it's so good to see you because I know that we've been trying to get you on the show for a while. Oh my gosh, with your leadership schedule, I know that would have been so tricky. I'm so thankful that on a day that you had off of work, you're waking up this early to come join us on the show. I'm so appreciative. You have no idea.
Oh, anything for you.
No, it's going to be so fun. I was looking at our schedule this week. Obviously, Brad and Jillian hosted yesterday. They were so phenomenal. If you missed that show, for anyone listening, go check out our Monday episode. Brad and Jillian had such a great conversation. But I knew ending my week strong, talking shop with you was going to be awesome. Jami, for our friends who may not be connected to you, if they're maybe new to our network or don't know all the work that you do, would you mind sharing a little bit about what you do in education?
Oh, sure. This is year 24 for me in education. I spent 10 years in the classroom as a teacher. I spent 10 years as an instructional coach. This is my fourth year in administration and my first year as a pandemic principal, as I've coined myself, which is very, very interesting. In addition to that, I'm a National Board Certified Teacher. I mentor National Board Certified teachers across the country. I write a few books for educators, just a few. My most popular is the Educator Reflection Tip series. I actually write a blog with Teach Better, the Better Mindset. I also write a leadership blog for Insight Advance. I have a consultant company, Digital PD for You. I think that's about it. I'm a mother and a wife. Other than that, not too much more than that.
I really feel like you have too much time on your hands. You might want to consider picking up a hobby, maybe. I mean, between all those things you just listed, it kept going and going and going and going. I don't know how you have time to talk to us this morning because you should be busy doing like 11 other things.
Keeps me busy. But writing is my is the thing I do for myself. So
yeah.
It's my most enjoyable time of the day. So
I do want to get into the books you've written. You have so much of you have such a beautiful expertise that I want to dive into later in the show for sure, because I have your books. I am a fan. I've been avid supporter of the work that you do, and especially shout out to those of you who have visited our Teach Better blog. If you haven't been there, that's just teachbetter.com/blog. There are so many blogs there. And Jami, you doing a monthly series for us is just so unbelievable. I don't know how you fit it into your schedule. Will you tell us a little bit about that blog series specifically that they can find over at teachbetter.com?
Oh, yes. So the Better Mindset series, I write it once a month. Topics come from real life. And so I spend my life supporting teachers. And so each month I try to write about something that will help teachers just to think about the positive parts of our day. It's very hard, it has to be intentional. And if we don't focus on the positive or choose to focus on the positive, we'll always look towards the negative. And so I always tell people that success is a mindset, and how we see ourselves and think about ourselves is really the most important part of your mindset or your mental attitude. And so you just got to really just really just take a step back and just focus on you, because you are the most important part of, you know, how you actually view the world, how you actually reflect on your day, how you choose to be. No one can really help you with it. And so once you realize that you are the reason that you're in a good mood, that you're in a bad mood, like you. And then when you couple that with the fact that you're an educator, when you think about, that quote that says the teacher controls the weather of the classroom, it's really true. So if you're smiling and you're high-fiving the children when they come in, that changes people's mindset and their mood. Their children don't know how to do that automatically, but we can do that for them and tell them, oh, I'm so happy to see you. You never know what people have gone through before they see you. And so it's just one of the most powerful things that, as I was researching, it's like, that's just the key. That's the key to having a good day every day. Yeah.
Yeah, I always love to throw out a really good challenge on a daily drop in morning show. And so I do have to say, I would love to throw out a challenge. I know we're only live for 7 minutes so far, but I would love to see every educator that is, listening in, popping in, even if you're listening to this after the fact. I want to see 5 high fives or fist bumps or elbow bumps handed out today. That is a number that is so doable. Guys, no matter what your day looks like today, like find a way to hand out 5 high fives, 5 fist bumps, or 5 whatever those elbow bumps are. Like find a way to do that, because I love, Jami, your focus on us really having the power. It's really empowering us having the power to control I like that, the weather in our world, the weather in our classroom, the weather in our building. That's some powerful stuff. I do want to give a shout out to all of our blog series writers. I never expected for the Teach Better blog to develop as it has. It is incredibly robust, but a huge element of it continuously being as robust as it is our incredible bloggers that blog for us, our guest bloggers from all around the world, especially those that do monthly series. And those really pop out as you scroll through the list of those incredible series that are there once a month. So definitely go check those out if you guys haven't done so already. But Jami, this is a passion of yours. You've done so much work in this space, writing specifically. Will you give us the titles of your books to make sure that people can go check those out?
Oh, sure. My first 2 books are in the Educator Reflection Tips series. Volume 1, How Often Do You Reflect on Your Practice? And Educator Reflection Tips, Volume 2 is Refining Our Practice. My third book, I wrote just like a little pandemic book with EduMatch. They actually do a series. Oh, and I have it right here. Hold on, let me show you.
Good.
So a snapshot in education, where a group of educators from across the world talked about all of the different things that we should focus on during the pandemic when it first came out. And so wrote that one. After that, I started writing with my husband. He writes, his first book was on colorism. Um, and it's just not a topic that you actually think about. And him being a very dark skinned African American, it's in essentially racism within your own race, prejudice within against different skin tones within your race. And so he wrote that book, and it was his research for his doctorate. And we actually, I wrote the professional development piece to it. It's so hard to talk about race, no matter what nationality you are. And it just gives you like a stepping stone to begin having those conversations as adults. And so we wrote that book together. Currently working with Dr. Rick Jeter when he's that 100 Stop series. So so I'm in the 100 Stop series for 100 things that leaders should stop doing.
Yeah.
And so waiting on the publication of that book. And then my husband and I are writing a book together, The Labyrinth of Leadership. So we'll be publishing that book next year. I'm excited about that one because I've been writing for teachers for so long. But as my lens continues to change, I like to merge the two. So it's very, very interesting the way that one is coming together. So I'm excited.
Well, and Jami, I didn't even know about some of those projects. I am such a fan of you putting down your passions, your expertise into a consumable product that educators all over can go and learn from. I had no idea that your husband sent all this work. I'll have to go and go purchase the work that he's done and learn from him as well. Gosh, what a power couple. But your connection between wanting to support teachers and now in this leadership role wanting to also support leadership and administrators, I think is so beautiful. I think some of the best administrators see the connection between being a good educator and being a good teacher and being a good administrator, all those being so connected. I love and appreciate that you are doing work in that space. And you had said that this was your first year being a pandemic principal. I know you've been an assistant principal in the past. Tell us about how this year's been for you.
It's a whirlwind. You just never really know what your day is going to be like. Not the leadership aspects; those are just really come like easily to me. I've been in leadership off and on for about 10 years, so it's not really the leadership aspects; it's the unpredictable aspects of the pandemic, the emotional toll that just daily life takes on everyone. Um, it is, you just never know when people finally open up and tell you about all of the things they've gone through over the last year and a half. Like, I'm never ready for that. Um, and just the supports that our students need, our families need, our teachers need, just that are non academic. That's really where the real work is every day. And it amazes me how resilient like our children are, because they'll be going through so much, and then when they see you, I mean, they're just as happy and excited to be at school. And when you really, really know their story, because I like to know my children's stories, um, they are phenomenal. When you think about everything that a teacher is going through, just and how you turn it off when you walk through the door of a building, um, and just teach your little heart out all day long, it is just, oh my goodness, just, I mean, there are no words for that. Um, and so just trying to balance, um, trying to support academics and the SEL portions of schooling, and knowing how hard to push or not during any given day. Um, that is a true balancing act for a leader. Love my job. There's nothing I would rather do. I think this was the perfect time for me to be a leader since I'm a parent, and I know how that feels. I've been watching my own son go through the pandemic, and it's very interesting. I don't know if we could ever have been prepared for something like this. Because every time we think we're at the end of it, then more things come. Um, but being at the elementary end, where there wasn't a vaccine until recently, um, it's been interesting. Talking to parents about, like, this is my only child, and I'm sending them back into an environment where um, they're not as protected. Like, how are you going to make sure everybody's safe? That type of thing. So.
Jamie, I have to say, and I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or kosher to say on a morning show, but just for the sake of transparency, because we thought about this a lot yesterday. I was in a district working with a bunch of educators, and I was with a number of different members of the Teach Better team, which I'll kind of touch on a little bit later today. But I will say, I don't know many people who are rushing to go be administrators right now. It is and I mean that knowing that it is an essential job and it's not being discussed, and it is so hard being an administrator right now. And I just want to, if nothing else, say thank you for not only the work that you've done pre-pandemic, being an incredible leader for teachers, but moving into a principal role during an exceptionally challenging year, and continuously, even in November, right? We're almost at the end of this first semester, keeping this mindset of service leadership, keeping this mindset of being looking through a parental lens, keeping this mindset of being able to look through a teacher lens, a classroom teacher lens, is incredibly admirable. And I so appreciate that you chose to move into this leadership role right now, because I can only imagine the parents, the teachers, the students, everybody in between that you are impacting. That is incredible that you have chosen to be on this journey this year. I can only imagine the love that is being shared with you, whether you necessarily see it or not every single day. It's important to acknowledge.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, so good. I want to get into some other feel good stuff, because while I very much love talking shop with you, Jami, we also have some good news stories, some holidays that I want to celebrate as well. And then I'd love to transition back into some of these topics with you, not only focus on the books and the work that you do, but also our theme this week, which is all about team building. So we'll be right back. We're going to do the good news story early today on a Tuesday morning and get into some holidays. Good morning, friends. It is Tuesday, November 23rd, believe it or not. We have some good news for you. We also have some holidays, and I know it's Tuesday. Typically, we do this at the end of the show on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but it was meant to be today. We are throwing it early on in the show. We are bringing you some good news and some holidays. And then don't forget, this is our last show of the week. We will not have a daily drop-in episode on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So you have some options. Either you can choose to take some time off, which you obviously deserve, or you can go listen to past episodes if you have not caught all of the daily drop-in episodes. We have been live Monday through Friday since August 1st, and we have had an episode every single day at 7 a.m. Eastern. So if you want to have an easy spot to go check out those past episodes, you can head over to the Teach Better Team YouTube channel and subscribe there, or you can head over to Teach Better Talk podcast and listen to all the episodes there. But we'd love to have you continuously engage with our incredible guests. Jami, it's been so fun to be able to talk shop with you. Do you want to know some wacky holidays that we have, not only today, but this week?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. Some easy ones. Today's kind of weird. It's National Espresso Day. I had no idea that we needed a whole day to get some espresso in our lives. In addition to that, today is also National Cashew Day, which kind of nutty. Kind of love it. In addition to all that fun, as a reminder, especially for our American friends, we have some holidays going on this week that even though we won't be live with you, we hope that you celebrate. Tomorrow is Celebrate Your Unique Talent Day. What a fun opportunity, especially if you have students, but even if you don't, any unique challenges, any unique skills that you have are always good. It's also, very important for those of us that like to jam out. Tomorrow is National Jukebox Day. So go and find some good tunes, It's also going to be Thanksgiving for many people who are celebrating the American Thanksgiving on Thursday. And then do not forget that we have Friday is Black Friday. Lots of good shopping. Cyber Monday, lots of good shopping. I want to give a reminder to our Teach Better family that we will have some Black Friday sales, some Cyber Monday sales that will be coming up. So make sure you look out for those details, those pieces of information. We also have our free PD giveaway, which you can register for at teachbetter.com/freepd 2021. And that will end at the end of this week. So if you have not registered to get you and your school signed up for some free professional development from the Teach Better team, we're giving away 10 free professional development sessions. And all you need to do is sign up. So go sign up at teachbetter.com/freepd 2021. So there's a lot of good holidays, lots of good celebrations to go and engage with. Jami, the good news article today kind of hit home for me, and I wanted to make sure we touched on this. Obviously, you work in an incredible building every single day. You see educators being innovative, educators pushing their limits, challenging students' mindsets all the time, and we always love to celebrate that. I was able yesterday to work with a school district. The Teach Better team kind of took over a school district yesterday. We had Andrea from the team, Katie from the team, Jeff, Chad, Dave, and I all went to one school district, all of us together, and we were able to work with the elementary schools, the middle schools, and the high schools to do some professional development. For me, I was able to spend all day with the middle school staff. Those are my people. I was so excited. And when I was with the middle school staff, we were working on the Teach Further model. For those of you who may not be familiar, you can head over to teachbetter.com. There's a ton there on the Teach Further model, courses, free downloads, all that stuff. But I will tell you that in its entirety, it's essentially asking educators to partner with their community, their local organizations, to bring the relevancy of content into our classrooms. So when I saw this good news article, it actually went with a few educators I was working with yesterday that were designing these dynamic interdisciplinary units with their students. I really love this. So this was a good news article that was just published yesterday, and it's all about these new airless tires, that these puncture-proof Michelin marvels are even made from 40% recycled resources. And it kind of goes into this new design of how a tire could be designed and how it, hopefully it gets into our mass market, because it really is a more sustainable tire and it's used with those recycled pieces. I loved this concept because it's not only extremely innovative, but I think our students can really begin to look at how our typical and traditional items that they might experience all around them day to day can be reimagined and re-envisioned in a more sustainable and innovative design. And so while I was so excited to see a new kind of approach to obviously a resource that many of us use all the time on our cars, those tires, I also loved being able to celebrate educators challenging students' minds to say, hey, what's an object that you see every single day and how can we redesign it to be more sustainable for our world? Jami, I'm sure your teachers are constantly bringing those innovative ideas to their students.
I love that story. Uh, it would be so important in the future because we don't know what it looks like to kind of reimagine everything that we're doing.
Yeah.
Children and teachers need to get comfortable thinking outside of the box, I guess we should say. I encourage innovation like that. Just come up with something um, that we haven't done before.
Mhm.
So it be it just doing coding in the middle of the day instead of doing like an afternoon club, uh,
Mhm.
be it collecting items that you no longer use, but someone else could use them, just to give our children just any kind of experience that they've never had, never thought they had, bringing in the community. If you're studying, so even at the youngest ages, we have a firehouse across the street from our school, and so our youngest babies, just letting them go over and get on the fire truck, see how it works, just giving them any kind of materials and seeing what they come up with. Challenge them to solve a real world problem. Um, you don't know what they would come up with. Um, my son's doing a project right now where he come up with anything that he wanted to do, start a business, and he thought about doing kind of like DoorDash for the elderly, um, where they're able to call and get someone to support them. They're not as tech savvy as all the rest of us. So just to make a phone call and say, I just need someone to come and sit with me, just to support me during the day.
Mhm.
Someone to um, go and pick up items that I need. Because as we age, our family sometimes is not as available if you're working during the day, but just something that like an 80-year-old may need something, but someone who's 65 and retired may just have time
Yeah.
just to go and just to help them out. Just doing little small things like that. Um, his project came out because we were listening to something and it told us that 16% of our seniors in our community were food deprived. They didn't have enough to eat during the day. And he was like, why? Why is that? Uh, and I was like, probably because they don't have anyone to get the food for them.
Right.
That we pick up our phone and we DoorDash. Some people are afraid of technology. And he was like, wait a minute, what? And I was like, yeah. I said, and so people don't really think about doing like a old school type of service,
Yeah.
And so I love that he was challenged to like think outside of the box like that. So
Well, and truly, Jamie, I mean, that one example, I think opens up such a door to so many conversations. And one of the biggest discussions that we had yesterday was creating opportunities for your students to be innovative and creative to some can feel like another thing to add to your plate. As an educator, it's how can I do everything I'm supposed to do, everything I have to do, and then also find time to give students opportunities to innovate. And so our discussion yesterday really strived to focus on it's not another thing. It needs to be integrated into the current expectations, the current work being done in our classrooms. And so when you're able to go through the whole process and not to bore everybody, but when you're able to identify your standards, break them down into targets, identify how you're going to evaluate your student success, and then find the purpose and really ensure that students understand why what you're teaching them is valuable, and then go a step further and say, and where can my students walk out of my classroom and see that this content in action? How can I bring that into our classroom more intentionally to emphasize the purpose? And how can I send my students' knowledge out once they've become masters of this content to better go and educate our community and create that circular effect? That is not another thing. It's just how we can choose to teach. And so it was a really beautiful discussion. I love the example hearing about your son's experience being challenged to come up with something innovative and then really question a lot of other elements of his reality just by simply being asked to think about one concept. I think that's the power of an educator, right? We can enact not only thought provoking ideas but truly enact change.
Absolutely. And it's so important for us to make sure that our children see the connection between what we're teaching and how they'll actually use it in real life. Um, and I think that may be the missing piece. Um, it'll make the learning so permanent in a child, ingrained in their being when they understand the connection, because they're always looking for the connection um, to everything that we're doing. They may not ask you, but they're waiting to hear why is this important to me? How will I use this? Because it gets their wheels to turning. There's like, oh, well, I didn't know that's how that was made, or that's what we do with that. Like they need to know that. Anytime you can take um, teaching outside of the classroom and just have the outdoor classroom, even just a learning garden, teaching children how to grow things when there isn't a grocery store in unless they have a car. Just little small things would make just a huge difference. Because the school I'm in right now, there isn't a grocery store in walking distance. You have to get in a car, and the nearest one is 10 to 15 minutes in any direction. So getting fresh fruit and vegetables is a luxury for some. And just even just a small something like a garden club, it would make a huge difference. They could take that home and actually turn it into a business. They could take that home and just grow some things where and just give it out to the people who live in the neighborhood. Just the huge difference on the life expectancy of the neighborhood, and just little things like that. Um, but they would have never probably thought to, I don't, to garden. Like who thinks of doing it? you know, just little small things, but would make a huge difference and impact on the community. So,
As we continue to foster our conversation about connections, our theme this week is about connections, but not necessarily connections to content, but connections people to people. We're going to continue our conversation with how to be a strong leader, how to really foster good community building, team building, and the connections, between our staff members. So we'll be right back for our brainstorming. Good morning, everyone. We are thrilled that you are joining us this morning. If you are here live, good morning to you. Thank you for being here. We love seeing all the comments. Even if you're tuning in after the fact, we just want you to know we appreciate you. We're so appreciative that you are here. And we are excited to dive into so many things that we've already been able to touch on, but get a little bit deeper. Jami, you have such an incredible passion for ensuring that people understand that they are supported. And as a leader, I know that is something that is so necessary. Our theme this week is all about team building, really ensuring that the people that you're around feel connected, which really aligns with so much of our discussion so far. How do you foster a building, or how do you necessarily even get started to ensure that people feel connected to one another and understand the value of team building?
mm, well, I started with just getting to know them first. When I first came to the school, I had individual meetings with everyone, gave them 30 to 45 minutes just to talk to me. about everything in their life, their personal life, their children, um, their parents, what they were passionate about, their unique talents. And then during the first week of school, we spent basically the first day doing community builders, just little small things you could do easily, like two truths and one thing that was false, so we could find out unique things about you. You could work in a group and just simply throw out a problem of practice within the building, and just getting them to work together to voice their concerns, their ideas, listening, charting those things. People think that you really don't want to hear what they're saying. Yes, I want to hear. Like, we're together, and together we have everything we need in this space to solve any problem that we have, to create any solution that we need. And you have to really help people realize that you really believe that in them.
Yeah. Absolutely, that you're interested. It needs to be a sincere and genuine offer. Jamie,
Yes.
earlier, I think we were like 7 minutes into our time together. We challenged everybody to hand out like 5 high fives or 5 fist bumps, whatever or elbow bumps, whatever you're comfortable with. I think we need to do another challenge right now. If you are live with us, let's play two truths and a lie. Tell us 2 things that are true and 1 thing that is false, and we want to guess. And Jamie, I'm gonna have you do it. So I need you to think of 1 thing that is false and 2 things that are true, and we're gonna see if we can guess, because this is a really easy, funny, opportunity that I'm sure many people have played, but it does kind of allow you to learn about others, because even if it's the truth or the lie, there's actually like there's always a story that comes out of it, right? It's, oh my gosh, I didn't know that about you, if it was true, or oh man, it was a lie. Well, then tell me related to that, like what would have been a true answer, right? There's always something. So if you're in the comments with us, I know we have a bunch of people live with us right now. We'd love to know your 2 truths and a lie. And especially if you're listening to this after the fact, I know a lot of you reach out to us via Twitter. When you're listening to this on the Teach Better Talk podcast, you can still tweet at us. So I'd love to hear the 2 truths and a lie. And Jamie and I will keep our eyes out, make sure to tag us, and we'll try and participate in guessing the lie. So if you're live with us, feel free to put that in the comments while we're chatting. Jamie, do you have a go-to 2 truths and a lie, or do you typically change it up depending on the day when you played this game?
Sometimes I actually have a typical thing that I go to. So which thing would you like?
I want the typical, because I want to know, like, what's the traditional go-to of Jamie trying to think of 2 truths and a lie.
All right. So I am the youngest of 3 girls.
Youngest of 3 girls. Okay.
I am, my first degree or major was nursing.
Okay.
And I have been married twice, but never divorced.
Whoa. Okay. All right. So I have to figure out which one of those are true and which one is a lie. Okay. For whatever reason, I felt like the lie could have been that you are the youngest of 3 girls, only because, Jamie, I feel like you have older sister energy. Like you could be the oldest and have like 2 younger sisters. I really could see that. Married twice and never divorced. That's a story right there. And then the degree in nursing, I could never be a nurse. I have such respect for those in the medical field, but holy cow, that's a hard job. And you seem like such an educator. Like maybe you knew when you were a child that you wanted to be an educator. So I'm gonna go with the sister one, but I feel like I could be wrong. What's the lie?
It is the sister one. I'm actually the middle child. I'm not the oldest though. I am the middle child. The others are absolutely true. I actually was going to be a nurse. The nurse that jumped on the helicopter to save people. That was what I was going to be. Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
That's how I started out. Yes. Yes. I spent the first, I actually got into our school of nursing here and then changed my major to education. I tell people all the time I'm an accidental educator.
Accidental educator. I love it. Woo! And then married 2 times, never divorced. Did you renew your vows with your husband?
So sort of. My husband and I secretly got married 6 months before our wedding. And and the only people that knew we were married were our parents and our siblings, and no one else knew that we were married. We found where we wanted to live, and we fixed it up and everything. And so my husband was going to live there for 6 months, and I was just going to move in when we got married. And I was like, no, I want to live there. And so we actually went down to the courthouse. I actually got married in overalls and flip flops. It was the best day ever. I told my husband I knew you really loved me when I could get married as me, you know.
Gosh.
And then we had a big wedding 6 months later, and for it was on year 11 that we actually told people that we celebrate 2 anniversaries, one in July and one in December. And they're like, what? We were like, yeah, we were already married. So just awesome.
Well, you know what? More reason to celebrate, Jamie. I love this. 2 anniversaries means 2 parties, right? This is great. I'm a huge advocate for, especially I'm a huge advocate for getting married in overalls and flip-flops. That's the dream in my mind. So I am so with you, girl. That's awesome.
Oh my God. You see Lori Ann?
Yeah, Lori is jumping in. Okay, Lori, we're going to do 2 truths and a lie. I'm really nervous about this because I don't feel like I've gotten to know Lori very well, but she participates in the show. And so, Lori, I feel like we're fostering this friendship slowly and surely, and I'm committed to this. So she says, my first job was shoveling pig poop.
Okay.
That's a fun fact. I met my husband at a local bar, and I switched my major in college 3 times before starting college. Okay, let's clarify. Lori, we're going to need to know the truth, but don't tell us yet. Oh, we're going to need to know the lie, but don't tell us yet. Maybe like type it in the comments, but don't send it until we guess. So, Jamie, what are your thoughts here? Which one of these statements, either the pig poop, the husband meeting at the bar, or switched her major in college 3 times before starting college? What are you leaning towards?
I kind of feel like the shoveling pig poop is probably true. I'm thinking that's probably true. I'm thinking that's probably true. I don't know how you could come up with something like that. I don't know. I'm thinking that's true.
I think so too.
True. Thinking maybe this changing the major 3 times, probably maybe 2 or 4. I don't know. I don't know.
You know what? Like I said, I don't know Lori very well, but she is an active member of the Teach Better family. She's always here for Daily Drop-In. I feel like she wanted to be a teacher from the moment she was like in kindergarten. Like she decided in elementary school, I'm going to be a teacher. I'm committed. So maybe the major changing isn't true because she's always known she wanted to be an educator.
Maybe.
And I think meeting my husband at the local bar, that's the only one. Like, you know, that's a pretty typical story. So maybe they made that one up. Maybe they met playing like late night softball, right, at their local hangout. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go with the husband one because I think she met her husband like at an extracurricular activity, like playing in a softball league or something. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go with the college? Is that your guess?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the major. I don't know. People don't typically change 3 times, but then
All right, Lori.
Which one is it, Lori? Which one is it? Which one?
I do say I love the hearts coming in. People are deciding if they're guessing with us. All right, Lori, we got to know. So let us know in the comments which one is not true, and that'll be good. Here's my 2 truths and a lie. All right, 2 truths and a lie. My lucky number is 3. I have a sister that lives 15 minutes from me, and I was I will say I was a middle school major in college in math and science. That will be my three. Lori is chiming in. She says, I met my husband at a local bar. Was a lie. Oh, yes.
Oh, see, you got it. Oh, she did change her major 3 times.
Wait. Oh, wait. She says, met my husband at a local bar. That was true. She says the lie was that she did change her major. She was an accountant, pharmacy, and then undecided. Oh, and she grew up on a pig farm.
We knew she couldn't make that up. Yeah.
No one made that up. But Jami, you were right. She did change her major. Oh my gosh, that many times. Accounting, pharmacy, and then undecided.
Wow.
That's like all these different spots. And then education.
Yeah. How did she? Wow, Lori. But I had a story. I bet there's a serious story behind that.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? Even the true one, meeting a husband at the local bar, you know there's a story there.
Yes, there is. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. So let's see. You say your favorite number is 3.
Yep. Okay. Favorite number's 3. Sister that lives 15 minutes from my house, and the major in college was middle school math and science. So let us know in the comments which one you think is true or false. Jami, I'm excited to know your guess as well. And then as we wrap up our show, Jami, I'd love to have you share how everyone can stay connected to you, because I want to make sure that they add you to their incredible growing education network. So make sure you're voting in the comments. We'd love to hear what you're thinking. And then Jami, before your guess, I'd love to have you share how people can stay connected to you.
Oh, okay. On Twitter, I'm just simply 4Js821 at JJJJ821. You can connect with me at digitalpdforyou.com. There's also a Digital PD for You Twitter page and a Digital PD for You Facebook page. I love connecting with educators, so please follow me. I'll follow you. Send me a direct message. I'm looking forward to having more educators to reflect with. Now, as for your 2 truths and lies, amazing that all of those had some numbers in them. So we can tell you're a math teacher. Your favorite.
Nikki in the comments is saying the sister is a lie, which I think is interesting. You guys know I recently moved.
You did move, so I was thinking.
So I could have moved closer to my sister. I mean, she's a wonderful person. I have the coolest sister ever. So I'm surprised that she thinks that one's a lie. Interesting.
I don't know. We don't. But you moved though. You did move, so I'm with her on that. I don't know about that.
I just moved, yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if you moved closer to your sister though. I don't know. Let's see. Your major math and science. I never hear you talking about science stuff though. I don't know about that. I never hear you talking about science. You talk about math all the time. No science. I don't know about your major being science. I don't know about that. 3.
It sounds like you think I lied about all of them, Jami.
I don't know. I live within 3 minutes of my sister. I believe you live close to your sister. I believe that one. I think you might live close to your sister.
Okay.
3 is your favorite number. That was just such an odd number though. Just 3? Oh, okay. 3. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I think 3. I don't think 3 is her favorite number. I don't know if 3 is her favorite number.
That's what we're going with? That's the guess?
I think I'm gonna go with 3.
All right. I hate to tell you, Jami, I'm so sorry. 3 is my lucky number.
Is it really?
It is. And my major in school was middle school math and science. I don't live close to my sister. My sister lives in Scotland, Glasgow, Scotland, with my brother-in-law. So while I do get to see them over the next few weeks because they are traveling back home, I don't get to see my sister ever. Oh, it's terrible. She lives far, far away.
Really? Do you go visit her?
I have and will actually. I've visited her a few years ago, pre-COVID, and then I'll actually have the opportunity. I'm so excited to visit her, hopefully in May. she's graduating with her doctorate degree over in Scotland. And so I'm very excited to go to that.
Awesome. Scotland. Oh, I'm going to tell my sister she's going to have to move away so I can go visit somewhere. Yeah.
Honestly, it's wonderful. I joke with my brother-in-law all the time that they moved over there just so I could go see the world, right? It's one of my favorite places to visit. I've only been once, but I'm very excited to go back. So shout out to all of our friends that participated. Thank you, Lori, Nikki, and everyone else who kind of jumped in to participate this morning. Don't forget that we would love to hear your 2 truths and a lie. So feel free to tweet at us or share on Instagram or Facebook, wherever you prefer to continue to connect with others. Jami is always up for a conversation, always up for sharing resources, and always up for a good game. So make sure that you tag us in those messages so we can continue to play all day long. I hope you all choose to take on the challenge that we gave to you very early on in the show to pass out 5 high fives today, because you are in control of the weather, the culture, the climate of your surroundings today. Jami has given us so much to think about. So please go take on that challenge and let us know how it goes. Jami, thank you so much for coming live with us. I am so appreciative that you took your day off to wake up bright and early and talk shop. It's always so good to see you.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Yes, everyone else, we hope you have an incredible Tuesday, November 23rd. And while we will not be live to see you on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, we encourage you to go apply for free PD over at teachbetter.com/freepd2021. Go take advantage of our Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales within our Teach Better community. And of course, as always, let us know if you need anything. So bye, friends. See you later.